Hello, everyone, and welcome to Locker Talk episode 55, the show everything WWE past, present, and future. I am your host, Colton, here to bring you all of my thoughts on WWE Battleground 2016. First off, give my overall thoughts of the show, and it was good. Alright, moving on. Now, we will start off with tweets that we got regarding the show. And by tweets, I mean tweet. We only got one of them this time. A little disappointing, you guys, but that's your fault, not mine. So, tweet comes from @Tony, and I'm going to say this wrong. It's either Brazier or Brazier. Either way, @TonyBrazier69. I'll spell it out. TonyBrazier69 has said it was brilliant. To me, WWE excels at shows that seem to have no hype, and they pull an awesome show out of nowhere. I agree. It seems like always the shows that people are complaining about beforehand and the shows that don't seem like they're going to be that much, these B pay-per-views, always end up turning out really good. And to me, honestly, I don't remember the last time I saw a bad WWE pay-per-view. Just the in-ring work itself has done enough for me for quite a while to warrant them being a good pay-per-view. Excuse me. Too much pizza tonight, my goodness. Although, can you really have too much pizza? I don't think so. But, let's get right into this. And we start off on the pre-show with the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. One now wrestling without a shirt. Hopefully to help differentiate them, because I still can't tell the difference against the most gorgeous team in the WWE, Breezango. Now, first off, good match. Once again, pre-show delivered pretty well. I was super duper surprised that Breezango got the win. It seems that they're picking up more steam. They're getting over with the crowd. And I'm really happy anytime Tyler Breeze picks up a victory on any show, let alone a pay-per-view, even if it was just the pre-show. But yeah, good for them. They're on SmackDown, which some people have described as being a weak show. Myself being one of those. Obviously, Raw getting more draft picks there had a better chance to get more stars. And so I think that Tyler Breeze and Fandango have a really good chance to shine on SmackDown and be one of the top tag teams. Maybe they could have a nice feud with American Alpha, or heck, even the New Day. This is a really good match. The crowd was not behind the Usos at all. Is that because that they're cousins with Roman Reigns? Probably. Is it because the Usos are boring? Probably. Is it because they're uggos? Probably. But all I really have on the pre-show is that. So we start off the night in a surprising way. I didn't think the show would start this way. Usually this is the Dolph Ziggler spot. But since Dolph Ziggler wasn't on the pay-per-view, I guess it transfers over. It's like a sexually transmitted disease over to Dana Brooke. And so she comes out with Charlotte with her match against Sasha Banks and mystery opponent. And now, everyone on Tuesday night complained that Bayley did not get drafted to Raw or SmackDown. And I said before, and I said during, and I said after that she won't get drafted. She'll show up and be Sasha's partner on Battleground. And I've never been so happy to be right in my whole life. It was a great moment, a very emotional moment for Bayley. Emotional for me. I got a little teary. I got a little choked up. I'm not going to lie to you. Just a great moment, a great debut. That crowd was in the palm of her hand. It was an absolutely amazing moment. And just, wow, I was going to be really ticked off. I'm not going to lie. It would have ruined the whole show for me if it wasn't Bayley. But I'm sure glad it was. I would have liked to see her do more in the match. That's okay. I'm not going to complain about it in any way, shape, or form, because I was so excited. I was so happy to see Bayley on the main roster, whether or not it's a one-time deal or if she's there for good now. But oh, it's so great, so great, so great, so great. And that's also the reason why this isn't a live show. I wanted to record it just so I could be able to edit in the that theme into the beginning of this show because it's that great, it's that awesome. And so yeah, that's really is. Sasha Banks picks up the win, makes Charlotte submit. A lot of people didn't see this coming, but once again, to toot my own horn, I did see it coming. It gives Sasha a legitimate reason to go for the title at SummerSlam, which most of us are assuming she's going to win. It would have been all too easy to have Dana Brooke take the loss, although I don't think anybody would complain about her taking a loss. Still needs a little work, that Dana Brooke, and I mean wrestling is what I'm going at. Anywho, so we get this match. Sasha picks up the submission victory. Really good match, a lot of fun. Great to see Bayley, as always, my absolute favorite. So we move on to the Wyatts and the New Day. And this was interesting how they kind of worked in Xavier Woods, kind of being, is he in a trance? Is he scared? I don't think the commentators knew. I don't think we knew. I don't think anyone really knew. It was just something they were kind of going with. But it was really good to kind of see him, I guess, get over that, even though he seems to have gotten over that several times in the past few weeks. But to finally go after Mr. Dreadlocks. Let's not start on that, Bray Wyatt. And, yeah, I thought it was interesting whether or not they were going to keep the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions of all time, the New Day Strong, or if they're going to give the Wyatts one last victory, or really one victory, because they don't tend to win a lot, those Wyatts. And the Wyatts did pick up the victory, and I was surprised by that. But good for them, no clue what the Wyatts are going to do. I don't know if they're going to split up Eric Rowan and Bray Wyatt over on SmackDown, and I don't think Braun Strowman's relevancy is going to last too long on Raw. And then there again, what do you do with Luke Harper? Because I feel like at one point, if you have Harper, Rowan, and Bray on SmackDown, and you don't want the Wyatts together, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If you put Harper on Raw, everybody's on Raw, so Raw really doesn't need another guy. It's going to be hard enough for him to find a spot as it is. So that'll be interesting to see. But Bray Wyatt picks up the victory with Sister Abigail. Really glad he's on SmackDown with a little bit smaller roster and a little bit lighter roster. I think he has a better chance to shine, a better chance to hopefully maybe someday become the WWE Champion. But only time will tell that. As long as we follow the buzzards, I'm sure we'll never be led astray. And so next we get Zack Ryder, Long Island Ice against Rusev and Rusev's fiance Elsa from Frozen. Oh, people were complaining about Zack Ryder's outfit. Don't really understand that. I thought it looked awesome, but then again, I think anything that has an American flag on it looks awesome. Didn't think Zack Ryder had a chance in hell to win this, but he put on a lot better showing than I thought he would. I hope this doesn't mean that he's just going to be dropped back down to irrelevancy like he did right after WrestleMania. And we got hyped. We got the debut of Mojo Rawley, which everybody was super bored with already. Why did he just run in the ring and start screaming at Rusev? It's I don't know, man. Rusev's reaction was great. Other than that, I don't know. I just don't know anymore about a lot of things, but that's not the point. But yeah, good showing from Long Island Ice Zack Ryder. And with the rumors of a return of Kurt Hawkins to WWE, which I'm not really sure why he would be a acquisition people really care about. Maybe that leads to a really great stable on SmackDown, the Major Hype Bros, which would just be an odd combination. but interesting. So, I mean, who knows? Then, my friends, and then we get to the match of the evening. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Good God Almighty, fight forever, please and thank you. Every time Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn step into a ring together, you're gonna get the match of the night. You're gonna get potential match of the year. And boy, they pulled off an amazing match. The moves, the spots, the psychology, the build up, the tension, the story, everything just meshed together into an awesome match, which is weird because it's no different than any other Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match. It's the exact same thing, but yet somehow it manages to be different while being the same at the same time. It manages to be fresh and new and exciting because these are two of the best in the world. And man, I absolutely enjoyed the heck out of that match. As long as Sami Zayn doesn't keep hurting himself, I think both of these guys have a really bright future. When Zayn was going for the bounce off the flip in the ropes and he landed on his shoulder, God, it just scared me, scared the heck out of everybody. I mean, the guy can't do this thing without hurting his shoulder. I mean, falling on it's not going to do much more. But that was scary. But man, they just put on a great match. Just the psychology at the very end, with the slaps back and forth, and Owens yelling at Zayn to stay down, don't make him do this, and all that. Zayn hitting multiple exploder suplexes, taking Owens to the real suplex city. Was just great. Really, really enjoyed it. Lots of fun. Man, two haluva kicks at the end, you know. One wasn't enough. He had to make sure to put Kevin Owens down to end the feud and end the rivalry. And I know I've been saying for a long time, I want this to go on for years, and for Zayn never get the win and never get the win, and finally he gets to win in a big spot like WrestleMania or something. But this was still really good. Absolutely cannot complain about this at all. People say match of the year. I don't know about that. That Nakamura Zayn match, still phenomenal, still amazing. The Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship, I'd still put ahead of that. But such a good match. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one again. It was absolutely amazing match. There's really nothing more you can say about it other than that. And so after the crowd gets really excited into this match and is completely blown up, we bring out the women, because that's what WWE does. They bring out the women in this terrible spots where they have no chance to succeed. And it seemed like the crowd wanted to be into Natalya versus Becky Lynch. Seems like they were trying to, but they never really could, whether or not is they didn't care enough, which is part of it, or the fact that Owens and Zayn just put on a fantastic match. I don't know, I don't know why, but I didn't like Natalya winning the match. I didn't like Becky tapping out to the sharpshooter. I don't know why. It's never really fully formed as a rivalry to me. I mean, although they were trying, I'm glad that they finally have done a secondary storylines with the women other than just the championship. So that was great, but I don't know, I think it just fell flat just on where it was on the card and what it had to go up against right before that. Oh, that's really good. Ooh. Anywho, so yeah, Natalya beats Becky. Moving on, that's not important. And then we get to the sore spot of the show, Darren Young, who we are attempting to make great for either the first or second time, we're not really sure which, against Elephant Man himself, Mike Mizanin. So it was a okay match for the most part of it, and then to that debacle at the end where, if first off, if anybody of you know exactly like what the official result of the match was, please let me know. I thought that Miz got counted out at first, and then it seemed that maybe he got disqualified, or Darren Young got disqualified, or they were both disqualified, or something, or it was just thrown out. I don't know what happened. One point that Bob Backlund selling that that terrible slap from Maurice like a pro, great, good job. And then going full crazy because he is Bob Backlund and that's just who he is, tearing his shirt to where it's dangling limply over under his suspenders, and just the craziness. I don't really know what it was. I don't think anyone knows what it was. I don't think anyone really cares what it was. So I'm not going to spend any more time on it. It's not important. Next, we get to the third highlight of the match, and we haven't even gotten to the highlight reel yet. Fancy how that works. Enzo Amore, ladies and gentlemen. First off, props to him for giving great life advice to hopefully help the younger people out there lead a full and successful and fruitful life. Congratulations, Mr. Amore, for that. Really great job. That's really being a star. But man, he absolutely killed that promo, man. That's just it's magic is what it is when Enzo and Big Cass come out. And then you got weird Uncle Cena in the corner laughing along and not knowing what's going on and egging them on, and it just all worked out really well. Which is super fun, man. Those Enzo and Big Cass are absolute superstars, and I'm really glad they're in the position that they are. And I think we see them hold the titles sooner rather than later, I hope. I don't think it makes sense for them to take it off the New Day, unless they just kind of do a friendly rivalry thing, which we've all been clamoring for a long time. So man, just really great. And then obviously Uncle Johnny is just there doing weird old man things. And the club come out and have a great match, a really great 6-man tag match. A lot of back and forth action. Enzo being tossed by his partners into the opponents, and just different things. Really, really enjoyed the AA spine busters from Carl Anderson, or as I was pointed out on Twitter, they could be the KA spine busters, maybe. Yes, no. We'll let the fans decide on that. But another really good match. I didn't see Cena pinning AJ Styles. It was a little weird to me. I would have thought they would have done something else to save that for SummerSlam. Really, the only way that makes sense to me is if they're not doing it on not doing that match, not doing Styles versus Cena at SummerSlam. But I don't see any reason why they wouldn't do that. It's the only thing that makes sense for them right now. So I don't know. I'm not a booker. I'm not a creative writer. I don't claim to be. I probably wouldn't do a very good job at it. So maybe I'd fit right in. I don't know. But Cena gets the pin on AJ Styles. Styles almost killed Cena with that Styles clash. It looked brutal. It looked like Cena's already fragile nose, as we know, might be in trouble there. But I think Styles needs to just wait another second longer for the other guy to get ready, because he just kind of gets into it and goes. It doesn't give the other guy a chance to get ready and be safe, which is really dangerous. That was a really close call with Cena. So I'm sure he'll get a talking to about that. If not, he probably knows. I don't know. He's AJ Styles. He can do everything. So yeah, look forward to that match at SummerSlam, even though it's probably going to go the same way as the match tonight did. And so now the low light highlight in the form of the highlight reel with Chris Jericho and the returning Viper Randy Orton. Boring waste of a time segment to me, other than maybe 3 points I want to make. One, Orton, why you got to bury Fandango? He got a win on the pay-per-view, and you didn't even have a match, so maybe don't bury talent that are kind of getting a bit of a push right now. Not great. 2, no enhancement needed. Ching! Good call. Funny as heck. Really like that line. Obviously, it was fun. And then, obviously, the obligatory RKO out of nowhere. Everybody saw it coming. It was really an RKO out of somewhere, or an RKO out of right there. However you want to say it. We got an RKO on Jericho, which we all saw coming a mile away. And finally, we get to the main event of the night, the Shield Triple Threat. This big match that we were all expecting to happen at WrestleMania last year. All we were expecting to happen at WrestleMania next year, sorry. And the match we were expecting to see at SummerSlam. But we got to the Battleground, and that's not a bad thing. If anything, it just makes this pay-per-view stronger, and hopefully try to get more people to watch. And it delivered. It absolutely delivered. What do you expect out of those three guys? Reigns, Rollins, and Ambrose. Regardless of your thoughts on the three guys, they seem to go out and put on great matches together every time they have a match. And so I really enjoy it. They're just a lot of different dynamics going back and forth, a lot of signature moves being done on each other. The powerbomb onto Reigns through the Spanish announce table, always a fun spot when the Spanish announce table goes down. The Superman punches, the frog splash, the whatever the heck Ambrose does other than bouncing off the ropes like an idiot. Still not a fan of that. I think I figured out what my gripe is with Dean Ambrose. He needs to grow in the beard. Reigns and Rollins both got a bigger, better beard going. I think Ambrose needs to grow out the beard a little more, and I'll respect him more, I think, if he does that. So maybe that. But I was honestly really surprised that Ambrose picked up the victory. I was pretty sure. I thought Seth was gonna win. Thought there was a chance that Roman might win, even though he'd just come back from suspension. But I like the decision for getting the big main title on SmackDown. It's a big coup for them, and it's a big win for Dean Ambrose to win the Shield Triple Threat, this big match that's been built up. And he won it. He is the best of the Shield, as seen in this one match. That can obviously be argued, but in the parameters of this match, Dean Ambrose is the guy, pun intended. So that was really interesting. I'll be surprised to see where they go from here. They obviously brought up the whole SmackDown locker room to congratulate Ambrose after, and that's kind of where the match started to lose me, because as they started to get closer to the start of the match, they kind of made it more about which brand is better, and is SmackDown going to have it, or is Raw going to have it? And I thought they had all they needed, just with it being the three members of the Shield. And the video package they built up so well, and it was just so well built without Roman Reigns, which for most people is more of a positive thing. And so yeah, Ambrose wins, taking the title to Thursday. Oh, I'm sorry. Wow. Not used to that. Taking it to Tuesday night SmackDown live, because we have to remind everybody that it's live as much as we can. And so that'll be interesting. I'm excited for Raw tomorrow to see what happens. Raw's without a world champion. A lot of great talent on that show. We get to see the debut of Corey Graves on commentary on Raw. Excited for SmackDown. Get to hear Mauro Ranallo. Always a great thing. Get to see what happens with the World Heavyweight title. See what happens with Cena and Styles. Get to hopefully see the debut of American Alpha. Super pumped for that. So, that is all of my thoughts on Battleground 2016. Let me know what you thought. Leave a comment below, or tweet us at WWE Locker Talk on Twitter, and we'd love to talk to you guys and discuss wrestling, different thoughts, opinions, views, etc., etc. And so with that, that's all I have for the show this week. I thank you all for watching. We will be back soon. We should be doing in the near future a show to talk about who is the face of the WWE, and it involves that great triple threat match we saw tonight. Is it Dean Ambrose? Is it Seth Rollins? Or is it Roman Reigns? We're also going to have a great show talking about the greatest ladder matches you might not remember. We're not going to be talking about Razor versus Shawn. We're not going to be talking about TLC at WrestleMania 17. We're going to dig deep. We've got a lot of notes, and we're going to tell you all of our thoughts on what we think are some of the best ladder matches in WWE history. So with that, I am Colton. This has been Locker Talk. Make sure you tweet us at WWE Locker Talk, and I will see you next time.